You're watching Suckprofessor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by... James! Hey, everybody. Episode 2 of Taboo. Coming up here. We're going to do a shot-by-shot, detailed, very insightful, filled with our amazing, incredible knowledge. James and I are the world's greatest experts on this TV show. James, would you agree?
No.
Good. That's the right answer. But with spoilers. And just so you know, and other than that, exciting show, taking some interesting turns, pretty straightforward storytelling though. I don't feel too confused, although I am intrigued, which is the kind of guessing that I like to be at. Right?
Yep. I think we can nail this one.
It's not like watching a fucking episode of Saved by the Bell. No idea who are these people. Yeah. I was in a coma for 14 years. So let's do it. Here we go. We open on the East India Company, the big bad place where the big bad men live. So the opening shot of Mr. Old can't afford to have facial surgery. Get those fucking, a little pieces. What?
Did you notice they even drove their carriages on the wrong side of the road?
Oh, really? The English.
How dare
you
they?
Silly Brits, driving on the wrong side of the road forever. I can't believe it. All right, well, enough of that. So, anyway, we open with these guys are in their office. It's the East India Company. They're frustrated. This fella here,
Stuart
Strange, grandpa of Doctor Strange, otherwise known as Commembic Bumberbatch,
and the High Sparrow,
and the High Sparrow of the Game of Thrones, is blowing a piece of paper. He's giving it a blowjob, and it dries up, and then he crumples it up, and he throws it, and he goes, "Hey, fat piece of shit, you fucker! You know what you didn't do? You didn't take care of the problem I told you to solve, which is the issue of, did he want him to kill him or dig up?"
That's also my filing system at work.
This is
yeah, but he pulls a power play, throws it at his feet, tells him to pick it up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mince his words at all. He literally wants his enforcer not only to take care of James Delaney, but to kill him.
Yes.
He's not being subtle at all.
These guys are very straightforward. They don't hint. They're like, what if we burn the contract?
Yeah, I mean, the East India Company's been around since 1600. They're a powerhouse in the world. They get what they want.
Like, even among... cartel of friends who are up to no good, they're probably not going to be super like, hey, let's go flog the donkey, which is like steal diamonds.
Yeah, but back then they didn't have to worry about like hidden microphones, eavesdrop, espionage, things like that. They could be a little bit open.
They just did old school, do I trust you or do you trust me kind of stuff. So anyway, he uses this as a threat though, and it was interesting. He goes, it will become valid in 2 days hence or something like that.
The notice of firing him will become valid. And,
Just and this is where he's saying I'm frustrated with the execution. So, by the way, we have subtitles on for you guys. James couldn't understand some words in watching The Pope, so he wanted us to have a show subtitles on in this one.
This isn't the same show?
I'm giving James a hard time.
Yeah.
We had a very minor quibble about I was like, hey, you know what?
If people don't like the subtitles, say it and we won't do them.
I don't care what people like.
I don't want to miss anything.
My main thing is my eyes are constantly dropping to the bottom of the screen.
I can put a piece of cardboard
That's my main objection. But if it does help us be more clear with the thing. However, we don't have subtitles for every single subtitle. No. I have that like I'm hitting the print screen button, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just stealing the entire show. We're already crossing.
What if I put like horse blinders on you, but instead of this way?
Yeah, like the bottom?
Yeah, they go like eyelashes. Not eyelashes.
Like letterbox blinders.
Exactly.
Got it. So let's keep pushing. So he's talking about the execution of his task. Told you to take care of it, bitch. And if you open it up, that's your file. It'll be valid in 2 days. Basically, this is your last chance to take care of business. Okay, buddy.
The only thing that's going to nullify his notice of, forced resignment is the death of James Delaney.
Yes. And so even though he's a subordinate to the other guy, his throat inflated, and he expressed a long croak of disapproval. He's like, and then some female frogs went into heat.
Star Wars character.
So thunder rumbles. We got a sky. Of course, if it's Tom Hardy, it's a cloudy, ominous sky. He's riding his top hat and his horse. What do you think his horse's name is? White Fang.
Sure.
White Tooth. Long white. Oh, look, it's a graveyard for London. Oh, is that like a mile marker though? Is like on a highway?
Probably. Yeah, I would imagine because he buried it before he got into town, so it would have been a good ways out.
Yeah, and remember, not a kill a mile marker.
Yeah, that was back when we thought, what was it, St. Peter's Cathedral?
Yes,
or is it St. Paul's?
I don't know. Who cares? It was a big giant round tent.
Yeah.
I love the British. They're driving on the wrong side of the road thing. I can do without, but I love the metric system. I think we use our stupid standard system, and it fucked up our thing we sent to Mars, and I'm against it. So anyway, he's walking along, and he's looking all cool and tough and scary and intense, and he pulls out this little poop shovel, and oh shoot, I thought I had a better shot. But it's adorable. This is like a travel shovel. I love the little tiny
very
shovel.
dainty.
It's dainty. It's something like the Queen of England would use.
It's like a spade with a longer handle.
Basically. Yeah, seriously, it's a shit. It's like camping. You ever have a camping crap shovel?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit, which one's for chili? Which one's, oh no.
It all ends up in the same place anyway.
Chili and poop are just like, one of them is just, yeah. So then he's digging a hole, and what is he? We kind of figured out right away. He's digging up his old thing. Back up. That's the thing he buried in the very opening shot of season.
We don't know what it is yet, but we do find out later on.
No clue what it is. I'm going to guess it's a Nintendo Switch. I think he's got the new console, and he doesn't want anybody else to get a hold of it.
Judging by the size, it has to be the NES Classic.
Oh, okay. NES Classic, for sure. We're making video game references for those of you that aren't nerds. All right, so now we have him and his buddy, and they're hauling something real heavy. What could it be? We don't know. And it's like heavy. He doesn't complain, but his buddy Brace, that's his... otherwise known as British Bryan Cranston, is he's like, oh, so it's heavy, but he's strong and everything. He wears a pinky ring, and so he's like, what do you need this for? Because I got stuff to keep. See, James, this is why I don't want partially to the subtitles, because they totally mess up my brain, because I don't remember what's not on the subtitles.
Oh.
So he doesn't exactly explain what he wants to store in there, but the guy's kind of suspicious, but he trusts him. It's not so much that he's suspicious; it's more that. This is a new way for him of, like, he's so used to being his father's servant, and obviously his loyalty to the son because he raised him partially. He's Michael Caine. He's Q. Who's Batman's buddy?
Alfred.
Hello, sir. I'm Michael Caine. Alfred.
Yeah, so he's basically giving him a gun, saying to hang it in the meat locker, keep the powder away from the moisture.
Would you like some suicide pills, sir? No, I'm gonna go beat up some hobos. Therapy can do lots for a billionaire, sir. All right, so
It's not half bad.
It's not good either. It's more than half bad. So March where? So then it gives him a gun. I like that he was like, "What gun? What the fuck are you doing? Why do I need a gun? It's weird." But he does take it. He's basically saying, but he's sort of letting him know that we might be under threat, that some dangerous forces are going on here. What's his face? Tom Hardy does not give up much unless he intends to. He's sort of one of those strong, silent, scarred, tattooed up all over his.
Yeah, his performance kind of reminds me a lot of Ragnar Lothbrok in Vikings.
Oh yeah. Is that the head guy in the Vikings? Yeah. The super hunky blonde man?
Yep.
That's what I call myself back when I had hair. What is it about you bloody mad Delaneys? Sorry, I know my British accent was perfect there. That's pretty good. So he takes it begrudgingly. He's going to follow orders, but I do like a servant that is allowed to talk up, kind of like Merlin in the TV show Merlin, which is one of the best shows ever created. Merlin is the servant to King Arthur, and he is a little sassy, and King Arthur respects him for it. So just keep the powder. Oh, yeah, he says store it, hang it in the meat locker, and don't get... Okay, so that's practical.
Yeah, this is what the whole scene is about.
After he leaves, you mean?
Well, no, after he talks about asking if you're hungry, but he wants to figure out what did his father used to eat, because he said that your father didn't used to eat much, just air and honey beer.
Yeah.
And remember, James knows something that Brace doesn't know. He knows that his father was poisoned with arsenic. So he wants to make sure two things. He wants to find out who was providing him with the honey beer, and to make sure that anything that Brace gives him is not from the man who was supplying the honey beer. He has no interest in getting poisoned himself.
Right. Yeah. Who knows? He could have just a stash of poisoned up shit. Also, who's providing the air?
Exactly.
Who's providing the poison, arsenic? Okay. So he says, no, from now on, we're only drinking out of bottles, and we're only drinking out of, I don't know, what's Windex bottle.
Yeah, and apparently the guy who provided the stuff has, since died, and so that's a dead end.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. So that didn't, but he still doesn't want to take any chances with drinking any of that.
He knows he's a marked man. He's angered a lot of people by coming back into the scene.
Yes. And he's smart enough to know that the people he's angered are
powerful people.
Powerful.
Yeah.
So anyway, now he leaves, and we do get to see what's in his little satchel. It turns out it is not a Nintendo gaming system from the late 21st century, or early 20. What century are we? Like 20?
Yeah.
God damn it! And no, the show's a night. Well, you and me.
Us? I don't know.
Relativity. Who the heck? Only Einstein can tell what time it is. And it turns out to be diamonds.
Crystal meth.
Oh yeah. He breaks the bottom with the butt of his knife, and he snorts it, and he goes, "Tuco!"
Yeah.
Oh. Pollo Hermano.
He goes tight.
Is that Tuco?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good Tuco, by the way. I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
It's reminded me of Casino when they smuggle diamonds in his wife's hair. Or no, that's Goodfellas. It's Goodfellas, and he slaps her. I don't like the part where he slaps her, but they, that's a good scene. And he's like, I know there's more. There's more. That's my Joe Pesci. So yeah, he's got a bunch of diamonds. probably blood diamonds. I don't know. Who knows where he got the diamonds? And he opens the safe, puts them away. And this is just basically to slow down the thieves. If they come looking for the diamonds, they got to steal the whole safe.
Yeah, but as far as I know, people don't really know that he has diamonds. People don't know that he's a man of means and actually has wealth. And now we kind of know where his wealth comes from.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's just inherited a company from a rich father, so he's probably got like wealth, or he's probably got assets maybe.
Yeah, in the past episode, Thwait was saying that his father's company was not the source of riches. If you've come back looking for wealth and riches, then you've come back for the wrong reason. Sure. There is none. Well,
enough to yes, but not as much as what that much diamond would mean.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay, got it. But this opens up a lot of power for him because he can go throwing money around a little more willy-nilly.
Right.
I found a $20 bill once when I was a kid, and it turned out to be my brother's, and I had to give it back, and it really made me angry. So there we go. This is old time. I like the realistic. This film set here. They're not making the cast clean up their shit. Couldn't they rent some fucking porta potties for the craft services people and the lighting guys? Come on.
Yeah, I guess it would have been
sloppy
like that.
Filmmaking. So there was just that's. It is funny if it's like, oh yeah, historically humans beings just pooped on their pant legs.
Can you imagine if cars took dumps?
Oh boy. Well, they do. It's gas in the air.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay.
Their shit is breathable gas. Auction of selling boats, and this is a big deal.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. They called it a candle auction.
Oh, candle. Oh, yeah. Is that what they called it?
And I never heard of that. I'm guessing that's what they did back in the day. Like, the time at which you had to bid was when the candle burns past a certain point. And all bids are in. They extinguish the candle. Right so it's all kept, in accordance by the candle. Oh,
that made sense. You know what I was confused about? So, okay, because he goes, but I thought they had one candle for 12. And I was like, how do they know it's an inch? Yeah. They don't have a thing there's no marker on the candle that's going to be like, oh yeah, that's an inch. Is it just by eye? It could have been by eye because they didn't have math back then. And it turns out, no, that's what they do. They do a new candle. Oh, look, there's new candles over here.
Yeah.
James, the system works.
We should go back to it.
I should be the next Sherlock. Hell yeah. Look at that. Great. So immediately, though, they get into the Feliz Aventurero. And they start doing it 1610, 620, 630. Guys are holding up their thing. Now, he's about to put it out. It looks like the red is pretty much gone. And then we hear 800
and
pounds.
People start muttering and gasping in the audience, James, because this is a lot of money.
Let's do that. Let's do the sound of a generic audience mutter. Ready? I'll do the 800 pounds and then we'll do it. 800 pounds. Oh, James, 800 pounds. I wish I had that kind of money. I'm a rich asshole, not that kind of a rich asshole. The sound of James whispering is going to haunt my nightmares. Turns out, although this moment in every show with the auction scene is a little cliche, where the guy speaks up at the last minute. I wish he just walked up right away. It was like 800 fuckers, and then grabs a candle and takes a bite out of it. But he has to look at this guy.
His face and muttering in a weird language.
Starts throwing candy, or I don't know. Okay, so they
So I was wondering though, because they said there were 12 items at auction, 12 ships. Yeah. But he really seemed to want that particular one, and I was wondering if he just wanted the first ship that came out because he really needed the ship, or if there was something specific about that ship that he was going for, which we had no way of knowing at this point.
Given the information we have so far, it does seem like he clearly wanted that ship. If you're going to an auction for 12 things, if I go to an auction for stolen bikes, I'm not going to go after the first one like I'm a maniac. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to, maybe, like, okay, now there's only 4 bikes left. I better start making my move. Yeah. I'm going to take the one with the banana seat and the pink tassels and a little ring ring.
Yeah.
But and one that still has a little girl still sitting on it. That sounded creepy. I didn't mean for that to be creepy. I just meant it would be weird that they stole it with the girl on it. Not that I want to buy the girl part. Fuck. I should probably delete this. What do we do?
But if you go back real quick,
sorry.
The most important part about this whole adventure that he takes to the auction house is for this particular line right here. What he's doing is he's doing a dual purpose. He's buying a ship, but he's also coming out and making his presence known in public that he's reestablishing the Delaney Shipping Company as the Delaney Nootka Trading Company.
Yes.
He's sticking his flag in the ground in front of all the who's who's in the town.
Yes. The disputed chunk of land, the Nootka Sound, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that he's formalizing it with a company means he's going to put up a fight and he's going to make him,
Yeah, it's going to be harder for the East India Company to delegitimize him and take it from him now that he's made a public stake.
Yeah. He's escalating the abrasion of the how annoying it is that they can't control him. So now they're storming through their fancy room with the fancy paintings and the candles and tray for tray. See, James, I don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Well, East India is pretty ticked off by this.
Yeah.
Especially that guy, but none more so than Strange himself.
Yes. When I get angry at James, I often wave my walking cane in his face. And also, I do this. This is the tapping man. Now we've got it's Dr. Strange, right?
Yes, Jonathan Pryce.
Jonathan Pryce. That's the actor's name. Tap, 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 and they're waiting around, and everybody's kind of pissed off. I'm so mad. He gives him. He's just frustrated. They don't know what to do.
Do you know why he's the leader?
No.
Because Pryce is always right.
Oh, good one. Not bad. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but
I
anyway.
came up with several, but they were all worse. So he's just yelling at him, basically.
Yeah, this entire scene is just Strange venting his frustration and his anger. He's saying things like, why does this man, James Delaney, know so much about the border negotiations? Why does he know that they were in Ghent? Because that's a state secret.
Yes.
Where did he get the money to buy the ship? So he starts going on, and he finally says, so they got to him first, either in Africa on the trip back. One of their agents secured his services.
Right.
And one of the other people in the room stands up and meekly goes, well, who? And he goes...
who did, sir? The fucking Americans!
There you go.
You say it.
The Americans.
Oh, come on. Say fracking.
The
fracking.
Sucking Americans.
Sucking. Say sucky sucky 20 bucky. Can you even say that?
No, that's too dangerous for me. Because I know that you're luring me into a trap.
I'm not gonna. No, it's okay. All right. I will best you one day, my friend, my fucking friend. Yeah. So the Americans. This part of the show is actually super interesting to me. The kind of American British antipathy towards each other. They're just ending a war, basically. They're still at war, I believe. It's 1814. And they haven't exactly been best bros. They've been going through a long breakup since the Revolution and before the Revolution. So they are dealing with the business side of the ramification of a war, which is that a younger country, although one that's asserting itself, can cause a lot of trouble for a fading world domination country like the British.
I wouldn't call them fading.
Well, their colonization thing, I don't know when it peaked, but I mean, it started to really go downhill in the 20th century. But
yeah.
But I mean, they're still globally powerful, but still, the Americans are boy, the Brits fucked up. They really could have had it if they just didn't tax us without representation. The redcoats. I love that. I want to marry a British woman. It's kind of my goal. A rich British woman, wealthy and powerful. I don't care.
The Queen is single.
Hey, no, he's still. The guy died. The Queen.
She doesn't have a husband, does she?
Yeah, she does. Watch The Crown on Netflix.
I don't know.
Netflix.com/audible.com.
There's a king?
Fuckface. Yes, King Philip. He's a nice man.
But really?
What, you think that's only...
That's not her son or something?
No, King Charles is her son. King Philip is her boyfriend, who she married before she became the queen.
But didn't she marry him after her husband died?
No, her husband never died. They're both 90, so they were just in the news. They're both in the
I guess I just know nothing.
They still have sex.
I don't want to know that.
They still stand up 69. It's awesome. It's those hip replacement technologies are impressive. They're like Wolverine now. His penis comes out like it's an adamantium spear.
I'm going to Google all about the monarchy after this because I'm woefully uninformed.
King Philip. It's just she had the genetic line. She's the power.
Oh, that's why they always refer to the queen instead of the king.
Yeah, sometimes it's the daughter that gets to be the ruler.
Okay.
It's just not that he was like a Greek dude. He's Greek or something. And actually, it was kind of controversial because she didn't marry a British fella. I think I don't know. Fuck. But he was like a royalty guy. Anyway,
he can only jump like one square forward and back too.
Because he's the king. Chess joke.
Piece.
Yeah, I get it. I know. Yeah.
It's
Meanwhile, they were both banging pawns. No, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. I wouldn't be the king. Are you kidding? I wouldn't want the fucking responsibility, but I still get to fly around on the planes and name horses and stuff. Sounds awesome. So
Speaking of horses.
Oh yeah, by the way, sorry, we get distracted. I told James I want to go for an hour. We're not going to go for an hour. This was where a horse was, apparently.
Yeah, his white horse.
Yeah, gone. And he sees a thing with a word, Atticus. So what the fuck? That sucks. And so he doesn't seem to freak out. Again, he doesn't really show his cards. He's not he's such an intense emotional. This is a subtle emotion. That's why it's powerful.
He does his WWE walk.
Yeah, he does that. He does that strut. Roar! He bangs two beers together and chugs them. He's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then, but he goes straight for Atticus. And it's this little fellow. This guy's pretty scary though. He's kind of fucked up. He's got his nutty tattoos. He looks like he should be on some MSNBC prison documentary. And they have this interesting exchange. He's like, I just want to know, tell me the biggest thing you saw I want to know the big. You went to Africa, right? And he's like, oh, you stole my horse.
Yeah, he has no interest in playing this game. He wants his horse back.
But they recognize each other.
Yeah,
they
he apparently knows of them. Yeah.
I sense that they grew up in the same. They're probably from kids. And I think back then the world population was like 800, so they all knew each other anyway.
Yeah, so he eventually, stops beating around the bush and says that your father owed me 20 pounds.
Yeah, he finally gets to that, but he's sort of saying, I'm writing a book about the world, and I just like that he's just sort of this maniac. This is what they did. They weren't real concerned with washing their hands back then. Everything must have been sticky.
Oh, and just make it clear, the place that he's going, the place where this man is apparently called the Dolphin.
Okay. Good.
I believe the place is called the Dolphin, or maybe he's called the Dolphin, but I believe he's Atticus, and the establishment is the Dolphin.
Yes, I took this to be some sort of I don't know, blacksmith or butchery, or I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Apparently, it's a place you go when you want to get someone killed.
Oh yeah, well there's that. This guy seems like a former mariner. I sense because he's talked about. I mean, later on we find out more.
It seems like everyone pretty much is.
Yeah, and
you're either a rich aristocrat or.
Yeah, you were either a rich aristocrat, you were a supportive merchant class, or you were one of the vast hordes of peons who got to whose teeth fell out. Are you more comfortable with business? Wait, I don't know what I'm reading now. Oh, these look like horns. They used to make cups out of horns, which I always thought was kind of cool. I guess you got to know these. It's a directional thing. It's not a spider web. East. Mm-hmm. That's probably south. North would be in the front. I would get. Oh, you know what? Let's back up. Oh, well, let's just see it again.
East over 0.
But that's the North Star.
Yeah.
Get it? And these are the his favorite Shoney's Junior Jumble puzzle menu games.
Yeah, you're always facing north as long as you're standing behind him.
Yeah, or in front of him.
Yeah.
Or just facing his forehead.
Did I ever mention I have no idea how to tell directions?
That does not surprise me at all.
No.
You can barely walk. Yeah. If the apocalypse happens, James, you stay close to me because I'm grabbing my power tools, my tactical flashlight, and we are going to go steal some water from the gas station. So what is going on? Oh yeah, so he's talked about his father. You can fill in, James, by the way. I'm messing it all up.
So eventually he's saying that not only do I want my 20 pounds, but he really, you need my services. I'm the kind of guy who people come to when they want someone taken care of.
Yeah.
When they want someone knocked off or whatever, I'm the guy they come to. And I recorded all in my book. He's kind of the guy who knows all the comings and goings in the town. He's the ear on the ground, the whispers in the street.
Yeah.
He's the Varys from Game of Thrones that you want on your side. And he says, especially when you're in a position that you're in and so many people want you dead, you need my services if you want to keep walking and breathing.
Did somebody come to him, though? Didn't he say somebody came to me about killing you?
Yes, he said that a man came to him and specifically asked for the services of felling Captain Delaney.
Yeah.
Which obviously is
But
James
he said,
Delaney.
I sailed with your dad or for your dad all around the world. So he's loyal to him, though.
Yes.
Like, he's like, no, I know this guy. I'm not going to...
Yeah, and he confirmed that this man was not from the East India Company. I believe he said he was from Leadenhall or Leadenhall.
Yeah, something like that.
Said, like, the gait of his walk or something made him believe that he was from that area.
Yeah. Yes. I did like this line. You're talking about the guy that came to him to inquire. He goes, what's the smallest thing you saw, human kindness? I thought that was a great line. That was cool. And then he's like, no, an ant. I saw an ant. And he's like, oh, really? You didn't see any sand? Come on. Sand is smaller than ants. It's outrageous.
Yeah, I kind of like this character, though.
I did. There's intriguing. It's good NPC. If this was a video game, you'd be like, well done, guys.
He starts intimidating, then he becomes...
But he's
hard to figure out.
I think he's used to intimidating other people. He's a pretty intimidating fellow.
Yeah.
Anybody with that tattoo, and I would be like, could you just give me my burrito so I could leave Taco Bell, sir?
Imagine that would hurt a lot, too.
Yeah. To have that done to you. But then Tom Hardy says something about, I didn't understand his heels on his boots thing.
I think it's some reference, some, figure of speech that was used back then, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I don't quite know.
And there was a cutaway to Tom Hardy... holding a knife, which you can see in this shot too. He was like, they showed it up close though, because he's like, in case this guy makes a move. So he never really trusts him. He's always like, like whenever I talked to James, at least for the first year I knew him, I always had a knife behind my back that I was ready to stab him with.
Or maybe he's saying that he's giving him such a good deal. I'm going to give you all this, but I'm going to stop short of giving you the heels off my own boots.
I guess so.
Maybe, I don't know.
I didn't understand the heel on the boots thing. So, anyway, they come to an agreement. And he says, all right, you'll get your horse back and I'll give you 15 pounds for the debt that my dad owes you because my... I don't know, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I think he agrees to 15 pounds of the original 20 pounds.
Yeah. But the original 20 pounds was made up for something else.
Yeah.
It was just like whatever.
He's basically trying to entice him to enter into a business with him.
Yeah, but 20 pounds...
That's the long and the short of it.
20 pounds sounds like a lot of money now. I mean, that's like $45 or $50 or something. And like back then, that was like $800,000. Not quite. But, so, okay, more rich fucks going into some castle. That's some fancy house, whatever. You know, you always know you're rich when you got assholes standing in suits that aren't even ready to fight or anything. They could probably still beat me up. And they're walking along. They got their thing. Rich British guys towing it. He's like, how is he? He's upset. So,
yeah, so this man's name is Solomon Coop.
Solomon
the man who
Coop.
just walked in.
Oh, the guy on the right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know who this fella is.
This is obviously some nobleman, and he's referred to a couple of times during this scene as Your Highness.
Yes. So we don't know if he's the king or if he's the prince or if he's just some dude, some lord, some Duke of Edinmofo or some Donnie Ten Castles. I don't know, but he's got all kinds of shit. So he's had this stuff shipped in. Let's take a look. We got some leopard thing. He's got some fruit, some candles, some thing. Like, what if I put out all the boring stuff? Yeah, he's got a rug. He's got a window. No, the zebra. And the zebra, he's even got its own bush.
As they would say in England, zebra.
Zebra? Is that really what they say?
Yeah, they pronounce Z as Z.
I know, but do they say zebra as zebra?
I've heard it that way. I believe they do.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let us know in the comments. Look at that. There's a rabbit. Looks like the rabbit's humping his foot, which is what they do. Because feet are very arousing to rabbits. And peacock. How about that, James, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, moving on. Look at all this food. Who eats this food? Does he finish it? Oh, little rich guy.
Yeah. So anyway, Solomon Coop is coming to brief this man on the status of the blockades, where the ships are for the Americans, where the ships are for the opposition forces, the English.
He says the red marks.
Yeah, he points out the red marks represent the American ships, and the blue marks represent the English ships.
Right, down there.
Or the Royal Navy ships. Or the crosses.
Unfortunately, they're behind the cross, the closed captioning.
But now I knew they were crosses and not X's, so win-win.
Really?
But anyway,
I guess so.
Yeah, so this buffoon rich guy is mainly he's not concerned so much with the status of the blockade, but more so by the fact that the cartographer or whoever came up with the map represented Britain with blue when he says they should be red, because logically we were red.
Yeah, we were red. Yeah, so he's focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah,
it's not exactly tactically that important. And the guy's like, the admiral drew it up, buddy. I didn't do it. What the fuck? And this is where he tells him, tell the admiral, please, make the British ships red and the Americans green, because that's so new.
Yes, exactly.
Shut up. I do the fucking joking around here, okay, you jerk. Can I have one of your fig Newtons, please, sir?
Yeah, so Solomon's assuring him, is like, this doesn't matter because, also I think he says, was it the Irish or the Scots were providing food? Irish were providing, yes, you're right. We're providing food and supplies to them, but don't worry because they're going to run out of powder soon.
Yeah, they're giving them tack and tacos.
Yes.
And they're going to run out. And then he stands up and I was like, whoa, boy, guy, dude, Jesus, what do you do? Jesus, what the fuck's going on? So he's not exactly a military guy, He's not one of those get up and run 4 miles 6.2 kilometers in the morning guys.
He's recounting this bizarre dream he had where his body was in the ocean and the enemy was allowed to get within an inch of his nose, despite, the presence of the Royal Army, which has failed him.
Yes. By the way, I'm not going to block out these boobs, okay? YouTube, those are kind of blurry painting boobs. I hope those are legal, all right? Sorry, I'm making you think sinful things there, James. Yeah, so he I forgot. I got it.
He basically ends his whole speech with he wants, and maybe you have this in a subtitle that I didn't record it wrong, but
we're getting this last
I thought
subtitle
he said that Prenny demands the American ship sunk, the survivors hanged, and some other atrocious act.
Yeah, was he referring to himself as Prenny?
I don't quite know. He's a nobleman. He's Your Highness.
Yeah.
He refers to him as Your Highness. Is this King George?
Yeah, I don't know who the guy is. I want to know who he is. He's obviously part of the royal government.
I feel like it's supposed to be so obvious they didn't even bother to say, but...
Yeah. Probably, yeah. I'm sure
we are who we are, and we don't know.
Those who know are like, these two idiots.
I didn't even know the Queen had a husband. So.
Just didn't occur to... Wait, you thought she was single this whole time?
I thought she was on Tinder.
You see her at the freshman mixer?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's been 90 years since I've had a... Yeah. No, James. Well, we'll find out. Somebody will tell us. Okay, so commercial. Oh, dark screen. And here we go. We've got...
but at the very end...
sorry, back up a little.
At the very end, the nobleman says, F East India. And Solomon says that he also intends to F East India.
Who's he?
Solomon.
This is
the guy with the little the Olympic medal on.
Looks like he's got a dead dog like dangling from a hook on its back. But who's he says it's from East. Who's he who's the he in your sentence?
They are both making verbally known that they oppose and hate the East India Company.
Got it. Yeah. That's right. Okay, so they're in agreement there. All right. And boy, doesn't it suck to have to go show your boss and he's a dick, and then you got to listen to him and go, Universal experience. Okay, so there's the docks, and we got Stone Cold Steve Austin wearing a top hat walking through, and he's just on his way somewhere. Then they didn't get into that, and then he hears and someone's behind him, and it's this girl. She goes, Winter, just Winter. No, turns out we saw her in the first episode. She's the little face that appeared behind the curtains and when he was in the brothel.
And right before this, he looked off in the distance and said, Winter is coming. And that's how he knew she was going to approve.
Yes, and I could make a very bad joke about
that.
It's a
child.
Well, she's in her teens. Come on,
13,
James. We all started around the age of 12 or something. I was 11 point.
I'm calling the police right now.
First boner I've had. No. I had lots of boners before. Okay, sorry.
You have a diary of them all.
No, I just remember. I was in a bait shop in Wisconsin. I didn't. I'll read about it on my blog, tumblr.com.
So anyway, Winter was following him.
Yes.
She approaches him.
Yes, and she's got some info for him that a man wanted her dead, and but. Hold on.
Yeah, Helga is the one that he, at the first episode, met her at the dock, said, I lay with you when I was younger. She's the one who had a brothel running out of the Delaney family office.
She's the madam.
Yeah, he kicked her out. She's not happy about it.
Yeah. So she was happy to give up information.
Yeah, so this girl is saying that Helga was very loose-lipped with this man with a silver tooth who was going after trying to kill James because she believed if James is dead, she gets her brothel back.
Right. He's messed up her good deal there. She had no landlord. She was paying no rent and renting out whores, and it was great. But then she tells her, well, okay, so tell me about this. He just trusts her right away. He's like, okay.
Yeah, but she also says something important that leads him to figuring out her identity later, that she has not been with anyone. She is not rented out.
Yes.
So whoever manages her does not let men touch her.
And he's like, what? You're not getting sold as a 13-year-old? That's crazy, because we live in a great world.
Different time.
All right, so he takes a particular girl. Okay, so he knew about someone specific, and so they're rowing out, and she said she wants to go to America. He cracks a joke. Do you want to go to New York? And she kind of laughs at it because I kind of like him. He just kind of goes with the flow.
But he's suspicious though that she's leading him into a trap initially.
Yes.
As anyone.
And she even goes, why do you trust me? Right? Like she even asks him that.
Yeah.
But he just starts to disrobe and get undressed a little. And
she tells him that the man with the silver tooth sleeps alone on a ship.
Right.
And then she gives directions, and he says, "Oh, so you're also a sailor?" And she says something funny. She says, "Us larks all want to be sailors."
You're right.
What's a lark?
Lark is a kind of bird. I think it's also a term for street girls who live at brothels.
Okay. Or is it someone who just sputters around town telling rumors and secrets and stuff, like the birds talking to each other?
Well, maybe, but I think it's more like people whose position in life isn't all that great, usually looking to fly across the other side of the ocean.
That's a term I'm not familiar with, but yeah.
That's not a term I'm familiar with. I'm just going off the context. Oh, James, I'm a sparrow. Let's fly away here. I'd like to think of myself more as a bald eagle. By the way, those aren't bald. Those it's just white feathers. They're not really fucking bald.
If you could grow white feathers up there,
yes, I would love to have white feathers. I'd like to see a bald eagle with just skull, just male pattern baldness. And he goes, rah, and women won't bang him. All right, so then he jumps in, splash, 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 swim, swim. He tells her to stay. He's remarkably trusting, and off to a sloop. Right, that's a sloop.
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy. If I know that someone's trying to kill me, I usually don't jump up on their ship, grab a gigantic metal. What do you call those metal thing,
knife,
grating or something, and move it, because if anyone's sleeping down there, they're gonna hear that.
Oh yeah, you gotta think sound carries around.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah,
and you don't expect anyone to be boarding your boat at night while you're asleep.
Right.
So whoever's in there knows he's there.
You ever just start thinking about oh man, we just live in this walled off room thing, and people can, everybody's house, people can just come in if they want. They can find their way in. It's so crazy. It's nuts. No wonder rich people like to have giant acreage. That's why I'm trying to get rich, so I can get away from all these motherfucking people on this planet. I want to live in a submarine. I'm just going to buy one and park it in my backyard, a really wealthy hillbilly.
Like a really high hedge around it. That's the mark of success.
Yeah, a maze. I want to get a hedge maze. I want to die in my own hedge maze because I want to get lost. That's how I hope to go. Okay, so lights a little thingy. He's crawling around. Luckily, they left on some lights for him, though. Hey, maybe maybe they would anyway. That doesn't. And so then he sniffs around and he sort of steals some stuff from him. Like he finds. I assume he comes up with a plan. He told the girl he was going to go find out why he's trying to kill him, but instead of that, he just pours some. I'm going to say kerosene, probably not gasoline. Perhaps petrol, perhaps some kind of whale oil, though. The whaling industry was probably going pretty strong right around this time too, and it stayed so for a long time until it ran out of fucking whales. Actually, until oil took over. But
he knows he's at a disadvantage. He doesn't know the layout of the boat. He doesn't know if anyone else is there. He doesn't know if someone's going to jump out from behind anything. But he does know that if the man is there, the man does want him dead. So he's just going to light the whole thing on fire and go about his way.
And the guy comes running out and he goes, "My sushi! You ruined it. Now it's cooked fish." No, he did it. He put the candles in a cool circular pattern, which I thought was interesting. I don't know, that kind of stuff. That was an interesting detail, I thought. And so the whole place goes up and he jumps off and he swims back to the boat. Gets on, comes up on the water, and she's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
little girl's not there.
Did I miss that, or was she actually gone?
They didn't show the empty boat. They didn't cut to there. She's not there. But he looked around and didn't look at anybody. You know what I mean? Like he just kind of oh.
Yeah. So he's really just in a different loop then.
Do you think she was real?
No, I think she was a host in Westworld.
Oh, a loop. Okay, yeah. All right. Maybe we're watching. Maybe Taboo is Taboo World.
Yeah, my iPad, every time I type something that starts with D, it tries to autocorrect to Dolores now.
Oh, really?
It's very annoying.
It used to say DeLorean.
Yeah.
Because you were obsessed. So then there's what's that? It's the St. Paul's Cathedral something or other.
I think it's the Bank of America.
Yeah. Ho ho hey ho he. That one of those places. And back to the house. British Bryan Cranston bringing in a pretty cup of tea. The contrast of these fancy little dishes and these dainty little things, but these disgusting, gross house of horrors that they all looked like and lived in. This is such an interesting thing to me. I like it. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of cool. But he's squatted down doing crap in front of the fire, building. So there's a
little bit of banter that he smells like his father when he goes out and lights the fires on the side of the sea.
riverbank. Yeah.
But the most important thing is that what he's really doing is he's looking for where his father would have kept the Nootka Sound Treaty.
Yes.
Because he knows that his claim to that land is not as strong as it normally would be if he didn't have that particular piece of documentation.
Yes.
And
he's like, "Why do you want to find that? You're just causing trouble." This is his way of saying, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah, he's telling him is people will kill you over that. I mean, like he says right there, you're basically asking, where can I find my own death warrant?
So what you're saying is, where can I find my own death warrant?
Yeah, so he's still adamant about finding it, saying that it might be written on deerskin. But he said he needs to prove to a tribunal that the land was acquired by trade and not by conquest, because that will strengthen his claim to the actual...
Right. And he goes, "By the way, have you seen me giant wooden ball? I've been missing it for years."
The globe?
It doesn't look like a globe, then. It's a giant wooden ball.
Okay.
And that the land was not acquired by treaty, not by conquest.
I said trade is treaty.
Same. Pretty close. You said acquired by DeLorean, not conquest. James, ugh. Or the crown may try to see. So yeah, he's messing with the British government, and they're not known for giving a fuck about one dude.
He knows this is not going to be an easy journey on claiming what's rightfully his.
In the middle of a war on the other side of the world in United States, Northwest North America. Come on. So yeah, he's messing with some troubles there.
Yeah, and again, he reiterates that the East India Company will slit his throat for opposing them like this. To which James basically does some gibberish.
Yeah.
Any language I don't understand is gibberish. No offense intended if he's actually speaking.
Fair enough. Yeah,
language.
But it says foreign language or unknown language.
Okay.
I don't know what the thumbnail or the thumbnail. The closed caption says something like that.
Yeah, and then he hangs up some beads, and right after that, he
has those are the beads.
Yeah, he has a vision of that woman in the water, which I assume was his mother Salish in Nootka Sound.
Oh yeah, is it Salish or that's
Salish?
Yeah, something like that. They said the name in the first episode. Yeah, but that's kind of kooky, huh? Look at that. So it sort of comes in there. And scary lady standing in the water. It's like, "Hey, lady, get out of the water. You're gonna get leeches up your hoo-ha." Oh shit, I shouldn't. That doesn't look like good water. What is this? Sirens? Elle McPherson, look it up, James.
Okay.
So then, so he starts kind of rummaging through his old stuff. Like you do when your dad goes to work. You look for, you look for all his old weird stuff, his old army photos. No, I'm just right. But his dad's dead. That's the only thing. You ever think about when you die and then someone's going to have to go through all your shit? And
I got a lot of crap in my
closet. Gross. Here's James's collection of hooker toenails. Ugh. Oh no, they're his toenails.
They go up in value every year.
Yeah, I know.
I've converted I've liquidated my assets.
I just hope they find my porn, because I got great stuff.
Yeah.
I got a great collection. I just hope my mom and dad find it. So Jimmy's open this thing with a knife, pops it open there, and oh, here it is. And he leans back and nope, not quite. But then he spots something tucked away in the drawer. I got
back in the desk.
A quick aside that some people hate, some people love. I once moved into an apartment in college that had furnishings, like dressers and beds and whatever. And behind one of the drawers in the dresser was a bunch of birth control.
No.
Some girl had lived there and, probably misplaced it. And it tasted weird. And then I grew tits, and they went away after about 4 months.
Did you know that I used to stay in this room here? And when I first moved in, no, I don't know. But
no wonder your ghost hovers above me every night.
But in that closet that I'm pointing at right there, on the top shelf, there was a bag of weed.
Oh, really?
And I held it in my hands, and I freaked out, and I ran to the bathroom and flushed it down the toilet as though I was committing some horrific crime.
That's worse than not swearing. You never flush away free weed. I found some weed in a parking lot once, and I fucking smoked it with my friends, and we got all fucked up.
I was expecting to be like a hidden camera, and the SWAT team was waiting outside. It's like, he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, I know. It's like if it was beer, you'd be like, oh, beer, no big deal. But if it's a little bit of weed, which is way better than it's healthier.
Yeah. I know.
No, don't feel bad about it. You've been culturally trained to think it's something terrible. I would react strangely if it was like hardcore. If it said heroin, I'd be like, oh boy.
The baggie was labeled heroin.
I know. I'd be like, I wouldn't do it, but and you shouldn't do weed. You find it's risky. You don't know whatever. Good news is it's becoming more and more legal, and one of these days James and I are going to do some edibles and get all fucked up. No, I don't know about that. I'm not making any promises for you, James.
Anyway,
by the way, once you have pizza, oh my god. Okay, so this is the thing he sees. Royal Theater.
You called it a playbill, right?
That's what I said.
I think that's probably the best term for it.
More of a flyer, I guess.
I actually, in my notes, I wrote flyer, then you said playbill, and I like that better, so the next time I wrote about it, I wrote playbill.
Look at this word. Look at this fucking word. His Majefleys. Majeflys. I would fire whoever wrote this. No, I'm joking. I think that's historically accurate. Words and letters evolve over time. It's all good.
It's for a play called The Painted Savage. And he flips it over in the back, and there's a telling sign on it. There's a list of the cast. One person who plays the Indian princess, Lorna Bowe.
Lorna Bowe.
And that's going to come up again later on in the episode.
Yes. We do not get to see Olive Wilson, who played Miss Piggy. So that's too bad. That's unfortunate. All right. Cool. Somebody played Todd. Check that out. Todd. Hi, I'm Todd. I'm here to fix your computer. Oh boy, what is he?
The Todd Squad.
The Todd Squad. we work for Circuit City, which is defunct because it fucking sucked. And there's his dad on the wall. I thought he was going to look behind the painting. That's why I thought he was looking at it again. But that's his dad, George Washington. So that's great.
Yeah, it's almost like he's looking at his father. And what I got from that is he was looking at his father and saying, what secrets do you have? Who is this Bowe person? Did you give the treaty to this Bowe person, whoever it is?
Like, had it been horribly written show, he would have been like, hey, and what secrets are you holding from me, old man?
Yes, what more do I not know of you?
Yes, I never saw you with your shirt off, and I will never say... Okay, all right. So he walks around outside, goes into a place here, he's just going through, and he heads up to, I don't know.
Going back to the docks.
Oh, yeah. This is his...
and she has not exactly vacated the premises.
Is this his place?
Yeah, it's his, I think it's his place.
No,
if you go back,
this is her new business.
Can you go back? Maybe you're right about that.
No, they wouldn't. He wouldn't have... What do you think? This guy said gave her 2 hours and several days have gone by and she's... No.
So she found a new place. You're saying. Okay.
Yeah, this is not as nice.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
That's right, because originally it had the big placard, the bronze thing.
Yeah, but she set up shop real quick. She just she just needed a place to keep the fog off their heads and get place to So boom, got an old guy. That's Benjamin Franklin. This is just slipping it in there, and that's awkward and weird. How do they not all die of STDs? We all have STDs nowadays. Jesus Christ, with these fucking people, man. Maybe their immune systems were just better or something. So she's actually kind of like, oh, thanks, man. That guy was taking forever. Jesus, come on. I'm glad you showed up. She didn't seem to mind. That was awkward.
But he gets right to the punch, asking if that girl that he met before, Winter, was hers. And he basically said, he described her as a mulatto.
A mulatto, 13. And she's like, oh, I wish I had a mulatto. Danish will pay double for that.
Yeah, and he describes her and says that she's capable of teleporting and so forth.
I knew the fucking Danish were evil. So then he pulls her wig off. And that was not cool. Let's look at her before. After. Before. After. Okay. She looks like a human now.
Yeah,
Not that she didn't before, but that wig...
I mean, I think that looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
Yeah, it looks like a ratty...
Well, maybe you feel sorry for her. You're like, oh, geez, your hair. Ugh.
Well, she looks better without it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, most people look kind of fucked up in a wig unless they have a really good wig.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of annoyed, but they're sort of like both real tough street people a little. Not that he's a rich guy, but you know, he's not a standard rich guy, and
and he gives this whole speech like, I see good in you. I also, not only do I see good in you, but I see her eyes in your eyes.
And he also likes movies starring Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, but he basically deduces with his powers of intuition that Winter is actually her daughter.
Yeah.
And that she isn't being sold out to men because she's protecting her daughter.
Yes, and he knows that's exactly. So that's the clue. Because
right.
she doesn't want to make her daughter into a hooker.
Right, and he does tell her that there is something I want from you. She wants that, but he's not about to do that for her.
I love when women tell me that. That's like my favorite thing to hear.
Yeah,
I'm always like, check please, and then they go, you were at Chipotle, you already paid.
No, but she's talking about dental services.
Oh, yeah. I want your fingers inside me fixing my teeth.
Yeah.
I do like the historic gross teeth that they're doing, because that is true. People had gnarly-ass, gross, fucked up teeth.
But what is it that he knows about her that she's not yet aware that he knows of her? She leaked information to the Silver-Toothed Man. So he knows that a brothel person is going to be privy to secret information. So he wants her on his side, and he wants to know exactly where Mr. Silvertooth is.
There is no more chatty man giving up his secrets than a man who's just launched space... Put something into space. Launch codes. So yeah, basically, I thought this reaction was fascinating. That he wasn't like, bitch, give me, how dare you try to kill me. He was like, yo, what are you doing? Work with me. We're going to make money. You're going to do your thing. We could be in business together.
He's a logical, calculating man.
Yeah, I really like everything about him. I need to start being more like that. I do push-ups. I get to like number 4 and I'm like, I can't.
I just put on the top hat and I'm done. It's too much work.
So the Malay is the... okay, so I took this to mean Malaysian, right? Foreigner, Asian of some kind, right? I mean, this is British time. I'm not trying to make anything weird, but I also didn't know if Malay meant something else that we just don't know what. Like maybe that's just somebody's job title or something.
Put a D on it, it's an entirely different thing.
De Malay?
Malady.
Malady, or malady, which is what doctors...
Yeah, but the fact that it's capitalized probably means that it's an ethnicity...
That's how I took it, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Without subtitles, we probably wouldn't know that.
And they weren't real subtle back in the day, gentle about people's race. They were just like, oh, that's the Mexican
guy. Like before, mulatto, what they called it.
Yeah.
That could be pretty offensive today, I would imagine.
For sure, yeah, totally. So she sort of dodges a bullet, I guess, because he's not angry, and, she tried to get him killed, but she sort of... it's interesting. I sense, though, that there's going to be a lot more friendship there between these
and she's mad because he didn't do the dentistry work either.
Come on, James. Not nice. I need braces, too. My teeth are fucked up. She's a survivor, though, dude. She's tough. He's tough, and they're going to be partners somehow. So there's this new boat, the Francois... James, read this. Read it all. Read all of it out loud.
4 years ago, our fathers brought forth in this kind of new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition of nominate create equal, now engaged in a great civil war testament of that nation. Because we did. Oh.
I got one. Let me start at the start, then take it away. The name is Simpson, Bartholomew J. That's Bart with an art and a capital B, then Sim plus S-O-N, that's me. It wasn't a long time about it a week ago, and all of a sudden trouble started to grow. Alarm was Susan, I was cruising. We were about to get up now, but I was refusing to let reality become an intrusion because in dreamland, I was cruising.
Oh, I see Queen Mab. She's the furious midwife. I think she comes and...
What are you doing?
That's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, nice. Do you know what I was doing?
No, I have no idea.
I was doing the lyrics to the Simpsons rap song from the early to mid-90s.
I'm glad that your memories are more eloquent than mine.
Move it on the double, because if you don't, you're in deep, deep trouble. Trouble! Okay, we're losing viewers rapidly.
Yeah, they're gone.
But there's probably a couple of dorky guys my age that have heard that shit and are having little weird memory boners right now.
So anyway, this is his boat. It's sold to him. He's going to inspect his property.
Yes, he's checking it out.
For 800 pounds.
And, real quick, this is one of those 5D things right here. You stare at it and it looks like a bunch of wolves.
Oh, the magic eye puzzle?
Yeah. Like, oh, I see it.
I'm actually ridiculously good at those.
Those are, they're fun. Those are pretty cool. So, okay, he goes in and this is an all very interesting scene. So this sort of gave away the clue. I think we already kind of knew, but that he was looking for something specific, and these little, hard to tell what they were. I thought they were beads of some kind.
Yeah, I just kept flashing back to Arrested Development. Bees? Beads?
No memory.
No,
I only watched
it's a great scene.
I love the show. I just never saw it. I never got through that show. I love the show. I just didn't. Okay.
But there's something
people get sensitive about that fucking show. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But so picking something, and it's obviously important. He notices it, and they were chiclets, or what those little good and plenties. Runts, Mike and Ike's. Yeah. And so he's just kind of scrounging around, digging through. This part was interesting. We didn't quite... It was dark, and it couldn't see what he was doing.
It looked like a bear trying to scratch his back on a log.
Yeah, it did. Or a guy having a seizure or something. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Is he okay? And he's sort of reaching... But it did seem like he was reaching back, too, but you just couldn't really see where his arms were.
Yeah, he was like reaching below the planks where the seam met the sides of the boat.
Yeah, like he knew to look there, though, and he pulls up that, which is a slave chain thing.
Yeah, it was something that was concealed... Not supposed to be seen, but it confirms that it was a slaver ship.
Yes. So,
which is frowned upon.
Yeah, and it seems to be triggering memories for him, and we know he had a history with some sort of boat crash, and he survived. So there's a lot of deep story here and some trauma here. Yeah, certainly, they didn't really have much of a concept of PTSD back then either. So I'm sure he could use a little talk therapy maybe. But he lights up a thing. What, you got?
No, he starts preparing for some sort of ritual.
Yeah. And look, we got some scar on the back, huh? And that's
shoot, that's a bird symbol.
Yep.
I didn't catch that watching it originally.
It actually looks like the famous fossil Archaeopteryx.
It does.
Which is the original, one of the first fossils that proved that dinosaurs are pretty much birds.
And hollow bones.
And had feathers. Yeah, that's right. They found it in China. There's all kinds of cool feathers or fossils we have yet to discover. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we can't look everywhere. So he starts scraping up all these beads and rocks, and they're sort of polished and...
like a couple thousand years, they're going to find a go-go dancer from Las Vegas fossilized and think humans had feathers?
Yeah, a go-go dancer will have feathers. Yeah, they're going to find me fossilized, and they're going to be like, wow, humans had a baldness, and humans had... I'll still be holding my mouse or something. Interesting, though. He's just scraping it up, and he's kind of going through this thing. Wow, look how many of them.
So he's putting two and two together, but at this point, we don't really quite know what's going on.
Yes, he's definitely connecting to something, and he's kind of like unhooking or sort of like gouging these chain things out of the wood. Obviously, there's a lot of meaningful stuff going on here with him.
I was thinking maybe he was doing some like purification ritual to, evict, bad juju or something like that.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe, man. I mean, I've done some woodworking in my day, and I get naked and tattooed before every time I build a bench or something. Yeah, but poor guy, he's having some scarred everywhere. These are like ritual scar or like on purpose scars. Looks like some you can use scars as decoration, I guess.
Yikes.
Yeah, not my style. I can barely handle putting on pants. So foreign language. So this is like sort of a flashback.
He's remembering because he was presumed dead in the sinking of a slave ship.
Yes.
So he was presumably on a ship.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes. So pretty strong stuff though. He gets naked. Maybe he was naked. Maybe they made him naked because I don't think they gave this. I think the slaves were usually naked. I mean, I don't know he's naked, but at least his balls aren't.
Are you saying that you think maybe he was a slave himself?
They maybe treated him that way. Although I don't know how they're going to treat a white guy differently just because that's the way they were.
That's where he learned his magic and sorts from tribal people.
Perhaps I sense he. I kind of have a prediction that this show is going to be him sort of taking vengeance. I think he went off and realized how fucked it was that they were treating Africans so terribly, and that's like those are the humans who he has this bond with, and now he comes back and all these rich assholes are causing all this trouble.
Yeah, it's definitely a show about vengeance. We know that, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, because
I thought it was a show about love.
Well, his father being poisoned, getting revenge for that, revenge for a multitude of other things that we get to learn.
Yeah, and kind of just an intense guy, not putting up with anybody's bullshit. So then he's down there, he's kind of thin, and now here we go with something very interesting that James noticed. And now we want everybody to pay close attention here. James, I'll just let you point it out, or maybe we should let it sit for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's just let it sit. See if anybody notices. So watch real close, okay? Next screenshot here. Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's naked.
He's naked. He's got a... Oh my God, there's a man in the back. What the fuck?
Ghosty likes to watch you.
Whoa! Now... Neither of us saw this the first time.
No, I was playing back through the episode of my iPad before we came up to do our discussion.
Yeah.
And I happened to come across that scene right there because I wanted to go back and see if I could pick up on the significance of the beads the second time. And wham.
Boy, oh boy. And then James showed me the iPad and he goes, look, you see anything in this one? And I go, oh God, it's scary. Look at that.
Did you draw a circle around with the mouse so people know where it is?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. Wow, that's fucking freaky, huh? I mean, are we just in a flashback, or is this really a ghost that's in the world?
But,
are we seeing something that's sort of, he's haunted because these spirits are around him?
But he just did a ritual with fancy words and mumbo-jumbo stuff, so maybe he summoned this. Maybe when he does that, the veil between the two worlds thins out and people can see through. Who knows?
Because he's having these visions, and we know he can communicate with his dad, or he was, or something.
Maybe that communication transcends beyond death.
Fuck, that was freaky.
But I guess that if it did, he could just ask his dad, hey, where's the treaty?
Dad!
That would be useful right now.
Dad, I can't find the clicker. I'm tired of watching CBS. So my theory, or it's not a big theory, but I think this looks like his father. That looks to me like the old man, right?
I mean, that would serve to reason.
Okay, it could not be, it's not ready. We can't say conclusively, but then we looked up, so we pulled up the screenshot of an old man ghost face he saw from episode 1, which is right here. That's that's one of our screenshots that we had. So that looks...
There's more detail to it. The other one's kind of blown out more, but it's very possible.
Yeah, kind of a wrinkly-faced old white guy with really white skin, zombie eyes and shit, and ghost face, and it looks like he's got hair. We'll just go there. It looks like he's got some longer hair. Yeah, I would... If you told me to bet, I would definitely bet that that's the same fella. Yeah. Although we don't know if this is his father anyway. I guess this is just something from the previous one.
We've seen many images and pictures of Delaney Sr., but...
Well, like kind of drawings.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of his Instagram yet. So,
we actually saw his corpse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did see his corpse. That's right. So then he had coins on his eyes. Yeah. So he's scraping up and he carves the bird.
Which is the same symbol on his back.
That's the symbol on his back. So I'm not sure what that is. Fly, freedom, birds, poop on strangers.
Spirit animal?
Yeah, something or other. So now we're back in a new scene, and he's just boozing away. I think he's had a kind of a stressful, brought up some old memories. This happens to me too. You got to go take it easy. So now he's just chugging away, having
this whole scene felt a little pointless to me, though.
Well, then this part here, you mean?
Well, this was just a little.
I think he was up all night.
Yeah, I mean, did this actually happen, or is he imagining this?
No, I think this happened. I think this is his way of honoring. I think there's something to do, because I would have kept the rocks. I would have been like, these are my buddy's rocks. I'm gonna put them in a cute little dish, and I'm gonna.
But I think they are beads.
Yeah, beads. They polished. Something or other, polished glass,
As
polished
we know,
rocks.
You fish for beads in the ocean, so he's returning them to their homeland.
Is that where beads come from?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah, they come from the bead store. Yeah. All right, dumbass. I was super sensitive about it. So then, he does this kind of he just lifts his arms up and drops the beads in the water, and or maybe bring them back to like the home waters, not fucking gross England river water, or whatever the fuck this is.
Whatever it is that he does,
that's fine. But
this bizarre to me. I don't know.
Yeah, he's connecting though. I mean, it's meaningful to him, and that's all that matters. So now that's the beach too. There's some ships and some skies and whatever. Okay, back to his house, and he's up with the candles and Bryan Cranston.
And this was the scene that I meant that was kind of pointless. The other one, there was meaning to it. I was expecting to jump to this one.
Okay, so what he does is he fills this, he puts a little booze in there. And it's the morning, and he says something about like I was at the whorehouse all night, which he wasn't. He was just drinking.
Yeah,
he wasn't, but so he he actually hid what he was doing, because going to whoring all night is like a valid excuse.
Yeah, and
that's like saying I got locked in the mall and I couldn't get out till the morning. I've done that.
Yeah, I mean I've
never done that.
The extent of the conversation that he has with Brace is that he knows that someone has been brought to London to try and kill him, and he wants to try and find out who it is and talk to him.
Yeah, what is this?
He leaves on that basis.
Right. Yeah. What is this? Is this tea? Because he puts it in his drink there, and then he pours. I think he has tea. I think he's got liquor in there to probably help wake up a little bit, bite the hair of the dog that fucks you or something.
Probably cotton candy.
Cotton candy. Anyway,
it was really popular back then.
Yeah, some sort of poultice. Is that a thing? What is that? A bundle of whatever. It was old timey shit. Yeah, there he goes. They ate in the whorehouse, and there he takes a swig, and the guy's giving him crap about not eating, right? And he's like, "You got to eat, man. You can't just live on that shit." Is this what you're saying, James?
Yeah, he wants to speak with the people who've been brought to London and try and kill him and ask them why.
Oh, I fucking missed it. And then he turns and he takes a big bite of an apple. I thought that was kind of funny.
He tells him he should wash that, and instead of washing it, he bites into it.
Oh, really? I missed that part. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, so then, boom, he goes to, St. Bartholomew's Hospital. Yep.
He is looking for Dr. Dumbarton.
Dr. Dumbarton. All right, great. So he walks in. There's a lady that goes up to this nurse here and says, "Hey, there you go, Dumbarton," who is Dumbledore's cousin. And she goes, "He's in there for the smell inside. Bone infractions, huh? Wow, unless it said something else. So walks in, and there's the good old Dr. Dumbarton, and he's like, I'm off duty.
Yeah, so this part was a little confusing. He starts saying something like, but I have a wound. It is a splinter of wood in my shoulder from a ship, from a Yankee ball, or something like that.
Right. Yes.
And it seemed odd, but at first I was thinking that he knew this guy personally, and he was recounting an experience that they had together that would remind him of who he is, but that's not the case at all.
Right.
It's a code word.
Yeah, he was doing spy versus spy code words, trying to identify, let him know I'm safe. But should I call you comrade? And this guy has an American accent. So
I was about to say, you picked up on his accent really quickly.
Yes, I did.
That slipped by me, but you nailed it.
You know why? Because I recognize the actor from House of Cards, and he's an American guy, I'm pretty sure. And it would have been, that's why since I recognize the actor, I was like, oh, I want to hear his English accent. And it was nowhere near as good as mine.
I mean, the main city that people are in America that's considered to be the threat, the enemy, is Boston. So they really should have gotten like Mark Wahlberg for this.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing there? It's a Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Sure. Yeah.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah. Survey course. Yeah, survey course. That's right. My friend Matt Damon from Good Will Hunting.
So the long and the short of this scene, to make it go a little bit quicker, is that this guy is not just a doctor. He is also a merchant and a spy, he says. He dyes flags. He's into the dyeing process.
Fixing colors and cloth. Right.
But mostly he is an American spy.
He says you're a doctor, you're a merchant, and you're a spy.
Yeah, so the guy is saying that he has a contact, or the guy being James Delaney says the contact called Colonnade, and that he wants to get into contact with the American president.
Right.
Because he has something that's going to be incredibly valuable to the Americans.
Yes.
So he wants to parlay with them, basically.
Yes.
And also references a guy named Carlsbad, who he says is a leader of the American correspondents in London.
Uh-huh.
But despite having all this information, Dr. Dumbarton is not willing to work with them. He says, you got the words wrong, I don't trust you, you were dumb to come here in the first place, and forces him out at gunpoint.
Yes. You got right to the end there. Yeah, you see something great value. So he wants to make a deal with them about his land.
Yes.
Yeah, and even this guy is like, I can't get to the president, but this other guy can, right? Or American Society of Secret Correspondence. That's boy, they weren't subtle back then, huh? They didn't even call it like the Department of Information. We call it intelligence, or the Defense Department. It's like, it used to be called the Spies and Lies hut. Secret correspondence.
And then it cuts to Trump saying that's fake news.
Yeah, and then he said fake news, and put a picture of him. He was pushes Jerry up a whore. Love it. Love the language.
That's the worst flavor of Ben and Jerry's.
Very much. Yes, you've got Stephen Colbert's American Dream. You've got Cherry Garcia, and you've got horror. Which, salty. Ugh, why are there hairs in this? Thick hairs. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. So then, this is where he goes, you used the wrong words, bitch. You don't know fucking... And he pulls up a gun and kicks his ass out of there. He says, get out of here, you
he says something like, America is an angry nation. And
that was an intimidating line.
Yeah, and he says, I'm counting on it.
Yes, I like that line. Do you treat sickness of the mind, doctor? That is funny, man. We're 300 years from now, they're gonna look back and be like, man, they were really horrible to each other with their brains. They all had fucked up brains, but they were all ashamed to ask for help for their stupid emotions. And luckily, that's changing. But it's gonna take a couple more 100 years, I think, before we're okay with it. But where we treat depression like we treat broken bones and shit. I'm counting on it. So I don't know why I ranted about that real quick, but I'm just saying throughout history, I think people often suffered in ways that our culture had not evolved to the point where they could actually deal with. So there he goes. And get out of here, you fucker. And so now we got another red coat walking into a house here. This guy, I think he's delivering a mail or something, right? He comes in.
He has a parcel, a letter for my iPad calls Zelda.
Zilpha.
But I know it's Zilpha.
Yes.
Thank you, Steve Jobs from Beyond the Grave.
Steve Jobs up in heaven. So she gets something in the mail. And James, what was it? Do we see? She
says, he went to Jared's.
Every kiss begins with what? So yeah, there she goes. She's given a giant diamond.
So obviously it's from his bag of diamonds that he dug up earlier in the episode.
Yeah. Now, what's he doing here? Is he does seem to have genuine affection. We do have an interaction later that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
but he's not trying to manipulate her, I don't think.
No, but there's a lot of speculation that he was sent off to the academy because he banged his own sister and created the child that he had to then pay the man for taking care of.
Oh, okay.
And that they had a romance in the past. There's been just layer after layer of subtle hints that they had a fling.
Yes.
Because he's only the half-brother, which is still gross, but different times.
Yeah. I mean, I'd bang like a third cousin or something.
Yeah, he's no Jaime Lannister.
No, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Sisters, second worst. The worst you could do is bang your mom. No, worst would be grandma. I don't know why am I thinking? I'm going to be sleep talking.
I'd say the worst would be grandpa.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, okay. What a great world we all live on.
So she hides the diamond away because her husband is a horrible, hideous man, Mr. Geary.
She'll have to explain that to him.
Yeah, he is not a good dude.
He minds her business, and he's a real kind of a real tool. Go back to Tool Academy, okay, and graduate from Tool University. Thwait. I like that they kept. Was that because he's off screen?
I don't know.
Because this was cutting a different scene. That's why
I think it's an acronym that stands for something.
Yeah, it stands for Thank or You Tong. What do you think it stands for?
The hairy old yellow tongue.
Tong.
Why not?
Okay, well it stands for Tongue Hoi Tong. That sounds okay, maybe racist.
Yeah,
I didn't mean it to.
It really does.
I didn't mean it to. Tongue. Okay, sorry. Okay, and then now we cut to, this is the lawyer talking. The last one, now they're at meeting at the lawyer's office. This was an interesting scene too. So he's basically saying, yeah, your dad owes a bunch of debt. I'll try to do this, blah, blah. Then I'll trade with them. And you go ahead, James.
Yeah.
Oh, this is about the ship he's talking about.
Yeah, he reveals to Thwait the reasons behind why he bought the ship and what he discovered on the ship.
Yeah.
He traced the ship back to having been owned by the East India Company at a prior point. He found the slaver chains on the ship, which told him that the East India Company was engaging in slavery, which they would vehemently deny.
Well, real quick, I don't know, but I know that slavery rightfully looked down upon, although it's happened so much throughout our history, and in America, it's a well-known part of our history. Went on for way too long, but I think the world was shifting, and it's actually kind of like, oh, good, at least even these evil. At least they had the decency to shame them for doing it, or to be like, "Oh, how dare you? We don't do." I'm not suggesting anything's good or bad here. I'm just saying there's that transitionary phase that certainly didn't occur fast enough to save people's lives, but that it did occur. And this is sort of a part of that. At least was that these big shipping companies would get in trouble if they were engaging in this trade, right? Yeah. But it was profitable. And horrible.
Yeah, it's sort of like Apple making the iPads and child slave labor camps in China now.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad.
Yeah, but another thing we're hopefully going to look back on in 400 years and be like, wow, really?
Why did people let this happen?
They're okay with that shit?
We saw the suicide nets hanging there. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, come on. Take the nets down. Let them end their lives.
Yeah, but this is him connecting the dots, saying they do run cloth and trade beads to the Tangiers. Yeah. That's the connection to the beads. But he then knows that they step off to Trinidad to do the whole slave thing.
Yes, and I like when James Keziah comes in here and just lays down some knowledge that nobody knew he had, and so he just lists the chain of how it works. And then they do the trade, and then that's I know. Yeah, it's so great.
And on top of that, he's basically building a case of the East India Company are horrible people, but then looks at Thwait and says,
"You say it.
You are their person that." Has betrayed the confidence of my father to these horrible people for a number of years.
You are there. Hoo-ha!
Yes, you are not the friend that you were supposed to be. You were my dad's attorney, and yet you betrayed him constantly to these horrific people. What say you?
Hey, James, what did I say when I couldn't make up my mind at the brothel? I'll take either whore.
Oh my God. But yeah, and that leads into Thwait giving this big long speech about why he did this, how the world has changed, how before the East India Company was just a shipping trading company, now it is God Almighty.
This is me at least 14 times a day.
Nice.
Damn it, James! You whore!
but he does say something else that I found really interesting. He said even the Prince Regent fears the company.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder if that Mr. Zebra Peacock guy before, who I thought I heard him say something about Prinny. Maybe that is reference to Prince Regent.
Prince Regent, yeah, Prinny, Prince Regent. He could call him Prinny Regi. Prince Regis Philbin. The fucking sky above our heads has more. Yeah, so this is like the company. We can't fight them. They're too big.
Yeah, in short, they have armies, they have men, they have wealth. if you oppose them, you are going to die.
Yes, but yeah, like you don't know. You think the British government's going to fuck with you, dude. You're screwing with this company that's global. And look where we are today. Fight them washed up at Tilbury. I didn't know what that was. That's some fight, obviously.
It's where the Doughboy's from.
The Tilbury Doughboy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some girls called me the Pillsbury Doughboy when I was a kid in middle school, and I still hate those fucking bitches. And sail to Boston where the company dare not go.
Because they hate Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, and sail to Boston. Where I can't do the Boston. If I hear it, I can do it, but if I just have to come up with it, it's kind of hard. So yeah, that was an interesting scene though. But then he's like, "You're a whore. You violated my dad," and like, well, all right, let's go for a walk. We'll still
because he knows he can still use them.
Yeah.
He's a smart man.
Exactly. Your father and he goes, "Are you armed?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm armed." And so now they're going in. So they're heading to this event. They're
actually going to the real reading of the last will and testament. And all the people that are gathered here are people who had debts to Delaney Sr. Right. So they're expecting to see this big, long will and testament where he's going to make good on his debts to them and leave them their rightful share.
Yes. And these two have a little bit of intense eye contact because they have some old history together. And but yeah, so they're giving up, and these guys are all being dicks and being loud and annoying. I'm surprised they didn't break out into dance and start sweeping chimneys and shit. That's like what British people do on Christmas. And then with the division straight after, and so they're gonna deal like. Basically, they're giving these guys bad news, though, because they're all angry and they all owed money and they all done work. So he had no wife, all right, Mr. Delaney, and he's survived by 2 kids.
There's the Geary piece of crap.
Yeah, Geary. What a dreary Geary, huh? Look at this guy.
Or Geary. I got that wrong.
Who cares? Same thing. She's from Game of Thrones, Robb Stark's old wife, and both present. And the kids are here. The daughter, Zilpha Annabelle Delaney, and Zilpha Annabelle Geary. There you go. And... in this last, but she's not. Oh yeah, this is sorry. I didn't get all the screenshots. In this last, she's not in it, is what they're saying here. Yeah, she's not listed in the will. It
says no mention of Zilpha in the testament.
Right.
Which is a pretty harsh blow. But she did say that her relationship with him near the end was strained. Back when she was talking about that, I buried him to the depths of my love.
Oh yeah.
As if to say, I did not bury him deep enough, for I did not love him enough.
True, totally. And she's totally okay with grave robbers scooping him up and turning his bones into soup.
Yep.
And then to his James Keziah Delaney. James, say Keziah for me, real like a hiya.
Keziah?
Oh God, I knew you weren't gonna go for it. Come on, man, passion. Nope. Don't you watch Oprah? Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's left only existing. So he gets all the existing assets to the boy, to James, Mr. Keziah.
And that's the extent of the will, which means that no itemized deductions. Yeah, he's doing his taxes. Yeah. No itemized amounts to the individual debtors.
Right.
So, So people are freaking out. They're not happy.
Yes, they wanted to hear, and he just left a bunch of money for the pay off the debts and stuff. Nope.
I mean, they hated him in life, and now they hate him even more in death.
Yes, but this is the land, though. Then that's where a lot of it comes down. And then the Pacific Northwest, and was formerly Spanish America. And then you fucking better sell it, Delaney. You better do we owe his money.
But he reminds him that the debt doesn't carry on to the son.
You don't inherit your parents' debts. Thank fucking God. Actually, no, my dad's in a way better financial position than I am. Oh boy,
let's not read that one.
Yeah. We got to black out nipples, but not that. 2 white guys trying not to say, we're trying to be sensitive. We are sensitive. Okay, it's getting awkward. But that's him talking. That's him saying that. Because remember, in the previous episode, if that seems completely crazy and random, he calls him that because he went to Africa and he sees him as cavorting or
he sees
identifying
him as
with
less than
human, and
says that he literally wants to kill him. He intends to kill him.
Yes. I'm British and angry.
Yeah. And he even stands up and points at James Delaney and says that your legacy is your death sentence.
Yes, he's like an ugly Colin Firth, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying that. Okay, gavel banging. Why is it? It was banging another gavel. Bishop, this Delaney. There you go, James. That legacy is your death sentence. And these 2 guys, though, I thought this was interesting.
I mean, if someone should turn up dead, do you really want that motive out there?
Just screaming it out loud.
Yeah, your legacy is your death.
I say this before the court. I will commit a murder of you by me. My address is...
My shoe size, should you find it imprinted in blood.
I'm a little taller than most men. I'll take a long coffin after you hang me for a murder. Your murder. All right, but then he's got his little boys here, and they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna be, he's recruited the MSNBC prison documentary goons, And
I mean, I wouldn't have recognized that guy had it not been for his head tattoo. I think it's a smart move they put that on him. I'm bad with faces.
I thought this was the same actor who played Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire for a second, because he's kind of like a small guy, but he's sort of like a little beefy, intimidating kind of presence. Like he was cast as Al Capone, but he's still short. But short guys can be intimidating if they've got the right attitude.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, it is important to know that he's there for a purpose.
Yeah, they're there.
He's looking, because the man who tried to hire him to kill Delaney is presumably in the room with them.
Right.
And he's there to see if he can spot him.
Yes, they're there to figure out. I forget exactly the clue, but I think that'll come up later when they get into the conversation.
When they meet outside.
Yeah, when they meet outside. So James Delaney has declared in his own name, and then he goes up and he dumps a bunch of money on the desk. He empties his thing. I think he even surprises the lawyer. This is this guy's a bad boy. He does he makes up his own rules.
Yeah, and the guy behind him, is he trying to say that his stomach is greater than his head?
Where? What are you talking about?
That greater than less than symbol hanging off of his chin.
This?
Yeah.
You're looking at this angle here?
Yeah.
Oh, just the big thing, the big part?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a mathematical.
Greater than less than. Yeah. If it was a line and it'd be not equals to not okay.
No.
Ooh, we'll delete that part from that. Good. No, I get it. I say stupid shit too, James. It's okay. I get it.
I thought that was pretty astute.
Well, it's just hard to see. You got to really point that out, that it's a less than symbol.
It's like two giant teal.
I know. No, I get you. We could look right angles. Oh, James, I know I'm going to get you for your birthday. All right. I don't even think you have a birthday, as far as I can tell. I think you're like the Uruk-hai. You've been sleeping in the dwarf mud pits for centuries, but waiting to be woken and sent on evil missions.
Yeah, so basically my mom walks in, dumps her purse out, coins fly everywhere.
Coins. He just got back from the arcade, and he goes, Aladdin's castle. My father stats him out to a sum total of 215 and 17 shillings. And behold, 215 and 17 shillings. Now, here's what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to say, come and get it, boys. And then they're all going to scramble around and be kind of annoying. But he's like, I love that. I just like that he's kind of like this, like, we're just going to do this. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
He goes, but you got to form an orderly line. And they sort of hesitate, and he tells them again.
He's an opposing figure.
Well, but also, it's like, you're either all going to get paid or not. Just get in line. What the fuck? It's like, there's nothing complicated going on here. It's really simple. But calm down, you little rabble of fucked up toast-eating toothes. And so, of course, they clear, and this is a great reveal of another person. Yeah, hey, she doesn't seem like a man.
I was kind of disappointed that Thorpe was like, did you really have to dump it all out? I'm the one who has to divide this up now? I mean, really? That was kind of rude.
Well, there was a quick moment where Thorpe goes, my clerks will take care of it. We'll split this up.
Okay.
Yeah, he said it real quick as he was like walking off, right before he tells her to go meet him in the office. And then she steps forward. And we're like, who is this? James, did you realize right away who we were talking to here? I mean, obviously...
I assumed it was going to be someone stepping forward trying to state claim or something, because she says their debts are not represented by the coins down there. I was thinking it was going to be a potential wife, but I wasn't sure.
Yes.
And I did not connect the dots that we're about to connect right now, though.
Right. And so this guy, this line here, the old skinflint didn't even pay for his holes. Right. That's this fella here, right? That's the guy that said it. And they all laugh. Ha ha! Good one. I'd say I'll be saying that to a mug of mead later at the belfry. No. She's pretty hot, by the way. So she steps forward, lifetime of devotion, kisses and love. What does he owe you? Is what she's answering a question here.
Yeah. And perhaps children, which is obviously not his daughter then, so we now know this is his wife.
Someone who claims to be his wife.
Who no one was aware of because they married in Dublin.
That's right. He owes me everything that a husband owes a wife. Okay? And she's obviously much younger than he is. I mean, there's maybe, what the fuck are you? What is this, some Anna Nicole Smith shit going on here?
So as soon as they said that her name was Lorna Delaney, I remembered that playbill said Lorna Bow on it.
Yes. Big props to James. James immediately caught it because it was a quick flash in the playbill. We didn't see it, or the flyer.
But I was taking notes on it, so...
Oh... You cheated with your 21st century technology.
But she does reference there that her former name was Lorna Bow. She confirms that.
Yes, and by the way, the original spelling of Horace had a W in front of it. So yeah, and she's like, and I have proof. I like how confident she was. I always like a confident, strong woman. It's one of the things that I'm into. My favorite fetish, my favorite thing, my fetish is women that are naked, and we're having sex. That's my That's what I like. I will have my clerks divide up the stuff. See, there you go, James. That's where he's the old guy doesn't have to do the work. He's a rich lawyer. He's got some some lackeys that do that shit for him. Come to my office. We'll figure it out. So they do, and she's calm. I don't know what this.
Yeah, what is that like a?
Although she was reciting it to herself.
Yeah, but is that like some sort of enunciation thing where you clear your head, calm, pretty, certain, fragrant?
Yeah.
Is it
good enough, smart enough, doggone it, people like you? Yeah.
It's not a self-affirmation, but it's...
Yeah, kind of. Well, I think she's nervous. I don't think she has a lot of practice
we know she's an actress, though. Maybe she recites that before she gives a speech or something to get her dialects and things.
Yeah. Well, a big part of acting is kind of your mental state, controlling your emotional state and being able to use it for acting. So, yeah, I get it. I do that, too, when I look in the mirror every morning. I go calm, pretty... You fucking loser, you piece of shit, you fucking ugly tall guy.
You take a bite of your morning burrito.
You think you're a video editor? And then I take a bite of my morning burrito and I forgot to microwave it, so it's still frozen. And then I go chimney sweep. Okay, all right. So he's got an Irish document, which they can't necessarily, they don't hate the, whatever. So he's like, I'm going to have to write to Mr. Delaney's son.
But the important thing
he said Mr. Delaney's son's never heard of you, but how would he? He was in Africa. That makes sense.
Right. So the significance of this is that if she is in fact the wife of Delaney, of Horace Delaney Sr., she is entitled to everything that James Delaney believes he is.
Yes. Totally. And this is interesting, too. Like, he's almost too honest in a way, because he says, no, I found a thing with your name on it in my dad's desk. It's like, what are you doing, assholes? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're building her case.
You don't need to help her. Oh, no, I got evidence. I got it right here. It's like, dude, hey, idiot. But I think you don't have to be that honest.
But he also says something like, what else of my father's might you have? Because he is directly thinking now, okay, where is that treaty? I need that treaty. She's got to have it.
The deerskin Nootka treaty.
The Nootka treaty.
So he can sell it to the Americans. Because otherwise he's just some British guy with fucked up tattoos showing up and trying to get the Americans to give him a bunch of money. Yeah. He needs it written down.
This is a real threat to him. I mean, aside from the physical threats of murder, this is the first financial threat to him.
Yeah. And anyway, so this is what we call a twist in the plot, I guess.
All of a twist.
All of a twist. Hello, sir. Can I spare some olives? Well, love is a kind of madness, isn't it, Mr. Okay, so he was old and sick. Okay, she says she has proof and she recites the poem.
Yeah.
It is in a moment that I would leave this cursed house by the river and to go to the Americas with you and live there naked and savage. And yet we can have each other and be together. I say that to chicks too. That's the opening line.
Really moved by that.
He started to cry a tear. Scar. I meant to say. Women love poetry though. You just write any fucking thing and say, hey, here's a poem, and they'll probably not text you back.
My favorite one as a kid was "Roses are red, violets are dead, the sugar bowl is empty, and so is your head."
Good one. Nice. Zing.
It never went over well with the ladies, though.
The ladies hate that, especially... Okay, all right. Well, what kind of documents? All right, dispatch. Okay, so they're going to find out. They're going to look into it. Okay, we have no... But this is obviously intriguing, and he's got to deal with this girl now.
Yeah,
and
they're clearly going to be in dealings. It's not clear what her motives are, what she actually wants, but you know that he's not going to let this go uncontested.
Yes. And this is him saying, I have no love for the theater. Oops, I went the wrong way. And I spend very little time in German brothels.
They're basically taking their stabs at each other.
Yeah. Moistening up your rod. Why did I say that, James? I meant to say STD stick. So there he walks out, and there they go. This is where he goes around right to the corner and meets with his fella.
Atticus is down there. He's got a hat on, but you can still tell it's him because this tattoo betrays him.
Look at these guys. Look at these fellas. Wow, those are some ruffians. And the gentleman who came to the Dolphin. James, what do you got here?
Yeah, so essentially he confirms that the man who came to him, to the Dolphin, to request the killing of James Delaney was in fact Mr. Geary.
Yeah. But how did they know? What was the detail that gave it away?
He saw him in the room.
Yeah, he recognized the face. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking that what he said gave it away. But you're right. Yeah, duh.
And he doesn't believe him at first because there was nothing that just happened in the room that would lead him to believe that Geary would want him dead. Right. I mean, it's not like he jumped up and said, "Your legacy is your death sentence." So this should not come as a shock to him.
Wait, who are you saying it was?
That's what Geary said.
Yeah, Geary said that, but he's telling him that it was the guy who made the joke about the... It wasn't Geary, though.
No, it says, yes, the gentleman who came to the Dolphin, and keep going, the one who said that your legacy was a death sentence. That was Geary. Oh,
you know what? You're right. You're totally right. You know why I was correcting you there? Because in my brain when I was watching this, I'm going to back up a little, zooming up here. I thought it was the dude that cracked the joke For some reason in my head, I read it as that, the guy that was standing behind the woman, this guy here. The old skinflint didn't even pay for his horse. I thought, this guy who looks like a grown-up Bill and Ted.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
What's the actor's name?
I don't recall.
You quoted a Theodore Foyd.
It's the not Keanu Reeves guy.
What's Teddy Flood? Is that his name?
No, Teddy Flood's the guy from Westworld.
Who the hell am I thinking of? I'm getting things. James dropped as a reference the full name of one of the Bill and Ted guys.
Did I?
Yeah, it's something we did recently. I don't know. We've been doing a lot lately. And I made fun of you for it because it was the craziest random, like, nobody knows that guy's full name.
No.
Anyway, I'm not trying to relitigate that, but this dude really does look like that grown-up guy. All right, so back to here. Sorry about all the diversions, everybody. Okay, so he offered to kill him. He's like, you want us to kill that fucking bitch? And he's like, nah. Right? He just gives them their money and he goes, all right, here you go. So off we go, and we have like a shadowy figure following him. That's pretty much it for this shot here. There's a couple little moments there, but someone's tracking our hero, which is not a surprise. So back to rich guy. East India Company here with their weird wiggy hats and whatever the fuck was going on with that shit.
So Thwait has just attended the reading of the last will and testament. Now he's doing what he always does, and he's going back like a little lapdog and reporting exactly what happened and what transpired to the East India Company.
Yep. And they don't like it. They're not happy. I'm trying to get
actually, they are happy.
Oh, they're real happy. They love it.
Because he has Godfrey stand up and read the agenda starting at item number 9. We find out that guy's name is Godfrey.
Yeah.
Who was kind of mad dogging the guy, the
also,
stenographer guy.
Hilarious New York comedian, Godfrey. So, all right, side note.
So he goes on, item 9 references the appearance of the actress widow.
Yeah.
And Thwait then confirms that the marriage is confirmed and legal based on his communications from Dublin.
Yeah, there it is.
And Pettifer, who is the enforcer guy...
that's the guy with the on the back up below. This is Pettifer here. Him.
Yeah. So he's sitting there eating up everything that's being said in the room.
Yep.
And I believe at the very end of this one, he, again, Strange says something along the lines of, it doesn't matter if James has any sort of claim to Nootka Sound.
Right.
Because once he's dead, the widow will have sole ownership.
Yes.
So he is adamant and he will not let this thing go. He is saying in plain terms over and over and over in front of a large group of people that he wants James Delaney murdered.
Right. And
this guy does not care.
Well, James Delaney has proven that he's not one that they can deal with. They can't negotiate. They know they're not going to persuade him. Yeah. But murdering him and persuading the actress probably will work. They could probably figure out a way to, if not just straight up pay her, First they try to pay you what it's not worth, then they try to pay you what it's worth, then they'll pay you more than it's worth, and then they'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, so they essentially feel like all their problems are solved because they're like, okay, well, great, because, all we got to do is kill him now, and we're good. We can negotiate with this new woman.
Yes, the girl has an opportunity, which would be Arya Stark's slogan if she changed careers. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So wait, tell them the possibilities. And she would have a claim against, this is kind of what James was explaining. Of shared ownership, and that's bravo! A whore actress. She doesn't even know she's a whore. Why do you have to throw that in there? By the way, it's a respect. I think it's insane that prostitution is illegal. It's fucking stupid. It's consenting adults. No one's getting hurt. The only reason people get harmed by it is because it's illegal.
Well, I mean, some people do get murdered in hotel rooms and
yes, but if it's a regulated service like massage or something like that, meaning or just mowing the lawn, it's consenting adults. We don't need a government legislating morality. That's my point. If no one's getting hurt between consenting adults, money, trade, boom, boom, wipe it up. Next.
You could bang your leg on your coffee table with a nightstand.
A lot of people get harmed more in marriage, above the board marriage, than they do at prostitution, and I'm talking both ways. The genders, I don't care, whatever.
So what you're saying is make marriage illegal.
I'm saying that whore should not be an insult. Not that we're there yet. People are
it's on my business card.
I don't know why that's my cause. There's a lot of bigger problem. What if I started like a little political community, like, all right guys, we're gonna fix this thing where whore is a bad word. I just don't think we should shame people for having sex. That's all I'm saying. In the event of James Delaney's death, all right, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, look at this, ink. What if he reached for the wrong glass and he took a swig of that? My wine. This is where he closes. This guy's like the
court reporter.
Court reporter. There you go. writing it down, and he goes, no. And this is where the event which may be imminent is his death.
Yeah,
so
he doesn't want the court reporter to write down that he's threatening the life of James Delaney yet again.
Yes, for
but
sure.
It's no secret.
Yes, definitely not a secret. So things go by. This is outside. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of ways to go here.
No, we're pretty much there.
We're getting there. We got 2 scenes left, kind of. So a bunch of fancy people having a little party. They got musicians. This is and he goes,
it's a pompous occasion for a musical performance.
Although if you've ever heard live musicians, it's kind of fun sometimes. As long as the music's not too loud. Have you ever heard like a 4-string quartet or whatever? Do they call that a quartet? Isn't that redundant? Yeah. I saw this Indian. This guy, a friend of mine took me to this Indian thing, the sitar and like this band. These guys, man, it was like I went into this trance. It was all it was fucking awesome.
You ever seen a 2-person duet?
I've seen 2 people do it.
You've seen a single person solo?
I've seen 3 people have threesomes.
Oh, good lord.
One time, and all right.
Anyway, this is an event that Zilpha is at, and James Delaney knows she's there. He's only going there to get her audience.
Yeah.
So he stares at her. They exchange glances in the mirror.
Everybody gets a little uncomfortable though.
And she goes outside knowing he's going to follow her so they can speak more in private.
Yes. She even looks in the mirror. And I said to James, how do they get the camera out of the mirror? I'm not dumb. But I just, there's the 2 ways are the right angle or digitally or something. And I'm always looking, I'm a video editor, so I'm always looking for cameras mistakes. I love seeing the camera in shows. It's hard to spot though.
They did this with a drone.
Yeah, well, these are professional. Yeah, with a drone floating.
Just hovering around the room.
It's and James goes, oh, you had a camera in the top hat, which was funny. Although James, no top hat.
Yep.
But anyway, the filmmaking side of this stuff is always very intriguing. I would love to work on this kind of show. It's awesome. So there they go, and of course, if I did it, it'd be like an animated camera in the middle because I would think it'd be funny.
You and I were waving your hands.
So they go outside and they have this little thing, and they do kind of acknowledge sex, kind of.
It does.
It feels like that.
She says something. He says, "Are you upset that I was loud in there, or is it my loudness what troubles you?"
Yeah.
And she says, "I was not upset with your loudness in the woods. I was not upset with your loudness in the jungle."
Right.
Which made me wonder, were they messing around in the woods or the jungle? Or is she saying, more likely what she's saying is, I didn't mind your loudness when you were off in Africa in the jungles or the woods because you were so far away, it didn't bother me. But then he said that you would always straighten your skirt as though nothing had happened.
Yeah, and march away like nothing. So these 2 lines, that's the part where I was like, oh, the skirt, straight, like they probably banged because their youthful passion took over.
That directly implies that they had some sort of relationship. And combined with the factors of him being sent away to an academy 10 years ago, the presence of a young child who looks to be about 10 years old, which fits the timeline. Hair. Yeah, all these things add up to them going all full Lannister. Some
sort of, what did you call him? Full Lannister?
Full Lannister.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying full ass banging.
No.
It was an ass baby, that boy. Hence the brown hair. March away like nothing had happened. So there's obviously, but they don't hate each, like, you know what I mean? Like there's really, I get the sense, and this is dumb idiot bullshit talking, that they're gonna bang again. I predict their passions will be reignited. There's obviously tension. There's nothing more of a turn off to a woman than a guy who's desperate and telegraphs his intention.
Yeah, but I think she's pushing him away because
meaning like tension, not good tension. It's flirting tension builds up. Not that that's what's going on here. Obviously, there's more history to this whole story, considering their dad died. They're not like James Lannister
No.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But I think that, obviously what's going to happen is that their child is going to die and then they're going to bang on his corpse.
Yes.
That's what they do.
Well, he kind of rapes her in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, not kind of, does.
Pretty horrible. But anyway.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I was thinking that what she wanted was for him to leave, not because she hates him, but because she still feels for him, because she knows that he is at danger in this place. Everyone is vying to kill him.
Yes, there's that
She does not want to see that happen.
There's a lot of factors going on here. I'm not saying that she's immediately wants to bang him right away. I'm just saying I think that this history is going to come back. Because it's a TV show and it's going to make for more dramatic television, honestly, is the main reason I think that. And her husband's a fucking douche, and he deserves it for...
Was she born in a barn? She left the door open.
This door back there?
Come on.
I'm not paying to heat the whole London.
Yeah, well, maybe she was being born in the barn.
Were you born in a barn?
Probably.
I bet you were like Jesus, like the 3 wise men. Some goats were standing around watching a bunch of...
I was probably born in a porta potty.
It was Virginia. The one somewhat wise man. The guy who knew how to hook up the plumbing. All right, sorry, I shouldn't make fun of your home state. It's not your fault. You're from a fucking terrible place filled with terrible people.
It's one of the original 13 colonies.
Yeah, my point exactly. Probably the 13th colony. That's why it's your favorite number.
Maybe.
Is that the day you're born? What month were you born?
August 13th.
What? That's outrageous. Elvis died on the 16th.
No.
19...
Fidel Castro's birthday was August 13th. Now he's dead. Now it's my day.
Wow.
Finally.
Wow.
Screw
Cool.
you, Fidel Castro.
JFK was killed the day after I was born. Not the year, but the day after I was
You're
born.
old.
I'm not that old. And I know that because that's what my parents put on my cake every year. And you come and hear everything. I could laugh at you, but you're not well. She sort of feels compassion for him, and she's worried about him, basically. And that's okay, because I'll always be this close to you. So, okay. But now we got a hooded, shadowy figure. So I think he kind of, he invited her to come back. He's like, why don't you come? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, tell your friends you're sick. Come back with me, and you'll know everything.
Yeah.
She asked him, did you really eat human flesh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fucking, I'm going to have a shot at that. That's right. Now, what do you think? Is she just going off of, like, some... direct rumor, or because maybe he had to survive on a boat?
No, I think she's just really intrigued by all of the rumors circulating around.
But I'm saying, is that like a stereotype? Oh, Africa, they all eat.
I think so. Yeah, I think cannibalism, tribalism, people walking around naked. It's just all stereotypes that people assume.
Yeah. Okay, so there they go, and he's off into the dark, scary alleys and streets. This is before electricity, so the only light was the fucking moon and some candles.
The worst part about it is all the poop in the street. Like, God, you meant how squishy that would sound.
I would invent like glow in the dark poop just to save their boots.
You need galoshes.
They need snowshoes.
Yeah.
Poop shoes. Okay, let's go back up, and now there's a shadow coming at. It's a little brighter in what people are watching, but while we do this on my computer screen, I haven't brightened it yet, so I brighten it after I edit it, so it's kind of hard for us to see what we're looking at.
And this is the waif coming after him.
The waif. Yeah. That's an Arya Stark reference. No, that's
Arya Stark. Yeah,
but it's
Game of Thrones.
But she's not the waif. The waif was Arya's
Nemesis.
Villain. Nemesis is that right? So all of a sudden, this turns into a fight. Oh, good. We finally get some action. Of course, you can't see anything. It all happens real quick.
There's a lot of stabby, punchy.
Yep. Oh, look, it's like a knuckle thing with spikes on it, though. That's his knife, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell who gets the best of who initially. But...
Yeah. It would be kind of weird if Tom Hardy just got murdered.
Yeah, but Delaney clearly is doing better. He is kicking butt.
He's a tough, badass guy. He's obviously anybody with those tattoos is probably okay. So. Fight, trip, get you a guy. And also, I think the person who attacked him didn't know he would be prepared because but he knew he's under threat. He's no dummy.
But he had to have known that he was going around town asking about him.
Oh, probably, yeah, that's probably true. And so, but he's still standing. The other person's not. He gets him, and oh, that's right. He leans in and he bites his neck open.
Yeah, that's
an eaten flesh moment, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's
not that he's hungry, but he's trying to kill him by. Isn't that where one of the jugulars is?
Yeah. I mean, he gets savage really quickly.
You know that magazine that Jugs with the good articles and the photos from the 80s?
Archie and Jughead?
No, Jugs. Yeah. Jugs. It's short for jugulars. I don't know why I went out of my way to make sure I forced that joke onto everybody. So he pulls off his fucking zombie face.
Is it confirmed that this is the Silver-Toothed Man?
Yes.
Okay.
As you'll see, because remember there's shot here.
It's all shiny right there.
They made sure that it was glinting and glowing. So he's got the silver tooth guy, and he's dead. Asian guy? Malaysian?
Possibly. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. But...
I think we can say so without being... That's every time... If it's anything other than your race or my race, I'm like, ooh, I probably should shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's not negative. I just... Okay, all right. All right, everybody knows our heart. James, mine is rotten and yours is pure. So they balance out. So he gets him, and then, of course, although I didn't necessarily see this coming, although it does add an extra layer of drama here for the next set, he collapses because he's got a knife in his belly. He got fucking stabbed in the gut, and that's no good, and he looks over, and he sees a quick flash. We have one screenshot of it, but he sees sort of his memory.
iPod starts going off.
Yeah, that's his phone. That's his phone ringer.
His ringtone.
And it goes... You have reached a phone call from your bill. So he sees another, and it's like a tribal guy, African coming at, and I'm
assuming this is going to relate to a scene from his past where he was also injured and was nursed back to health, and
that's
went
how
back to with his tribe, and that's where he learned all the mystical things that he currently knows.
This did not seem threatening, though.
No,
even though he seems like he's holding up.
I mean, that guy looks like he's coming to help.
Yeah, but he kind of approached him, and he wasn't like coming at him like he came like, oh fuck, you're hurt, and so. So super interesting. I really wonder how much we're going to see the Pacific Northwest, where he goes to Nootka Island, or if we're going to see him in Africa, or we're going to see him on ships. I mean, if it all takes place in London, it's still fine. London is an interesting place for what it's worth, but I'd like it to be this global thing. It'd be kind of cool. So that's it. That's the end of the episode.
You think he's ever going to go to Boston, go to the Americas?
Hey, go to Boston. Go have a Philly cheesesteak in Boston. Go have a deep dish pizza. Go have a Dodger dog. That's my Boston accent. What's their food in Boston?
Boston?
Lobster. Go eat some lobster.
Boston.
Fuck Boston.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know anything about Boston.
I mean, as far as this conversation goes, it's a great town. I've been there. They got graves in the middle of town. You can just tip them over. Nobody gets mad at you. It's awesome. I didn't tip over any of those old graves. Don't worry. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You never been? Yeah, they have like a Revolutionary War graveyards like in the middle of fucking downtown. It's nuts.
And people have spray painted all over them and
No.
them
They're like historical. Like everybody wanders around. It's really respectful and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you hold your girlfriend's hand. She looks at you in the eyes, and you go, "I wish we weren't staying with your parents." All right, James. Show. Did you like it? Good episode. Are you interested?
Yeah. I actually liked it, and I mean, I liked it a lot. But then when we saw those flashes of ghostly people, it got me even more interested in what the secret meanings behind everything would be.
You're going to be looking for ghost men and background ghosts, and we actually found. Do you want to mention that or?
In season one, you got me saying that now.
I was saying that earlier.
To be fair, it is in season 1, but episode 1, there is another ghost hidden.
Yes, somebody posted a thing and we looked it up, and it does seem to be. We might make a separate video about that.
Yeah, we did not notice that ourselves. We had to cheat to find that one.
But James calls that cheating. Okay. Really intriguing though. I as I said at the beginning, I like that they're just telling the story. They're not starting shit that. I mean, the new wife was an interesting thing, but I'm not confused. That's the thing. I start to lose interest when it's like, ugh. I don't really, because the characters have some depth to him. He's obviously got a really intriguing background. We're going to find out a lot more about. Yeah. There's this whole East India versus Britain versus him thing is fascinating. These multi-competing interests. Honestly, the thing I could not care less, but the one, if you told me to get rid of the subplots, is he and his sister banging. I don't give a shit about that. Okay.
Yeah, but this is definitely not True Detective season 2. This is much easier to follow than some other shows.
Oh, True Detective season 2. What the fuck? Looks like something I would write. Horrible. Just terrible. So yeah, anything else to say? Predictions? Next episode, he's gonna have to survive somehow. So you think the boy is definitely him and his sister? So
I'm pretty confident that's the case.
I think it's a dual timeline. I think he's gonna turn out to be William. And the Man in Black.
He was a Black Hat.
Those are Westworld jokes.
Clearly, it's Ed Harris.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So very good, guys. Let us know what you thought. Tell us in the comments. Did you enjoy it? What did we miss? What are we full of shit on?
Is the Queen really married?
There's no way to find out.
We'll never know.
Of course she's married. The Crown on Netflix. It's great.
Okay.
It's really good. The London Fog. There's John Lithgow plays Winston Churchill.
Nice.
Come on. It's like Third Rock from the Sun, but not as good. It's great. Okay. Please like and subscribe and support our channel. That way, it's really wonderful. We love seeing people actually paying attention now that it's for a couple of years there, nobody watched anything ever. Mm-hmm. And so we've been working hard, and hopefully you reward our hard work with your continued attention. And that sounds like a pretty reasonable transaction. And eventually we're going to turn into rich douchebag fuckfaces, and then you can say you were there at the beginning before we turned into evil bitches. What do you think, James?
Yes.
Keziah! James, give me one Keziah and then we'll go. Hiya!
Keziah?
Keziah. Middle name Keziah.
Yeah, Keziah.
Say it. Say Keziah!
Keziah.
Pretend you're rescuing a raccoon that's fallen out of a tree. All right, well, there you go, everybody. See you later. Thank you, James. You've been great. You can put your pants back on now, buddy. Mm-hmm. Bye.